Working at a gas station sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought that'd be a funny way to start this video. What's up? My name is Zach from the channel Theater Zach 22, and I have a fun little story that I would like to share with whoever decides to watch this. So, I can't even remember. Back in 2017, 2018, I worked at a gas station. And mind you, I never thought that I would. Not that there's anything wrong with working at a gas station. I've come to have a newfound, what's the word I'm thinking of? Appreciation for it, having worked there myself. I've worked at numerous places throughout my life, and let me tell you, the gas station was one of the worst. So, getting back on track. I worked at a gas station, like I said, 2017, 2018, and I worked there for just under a year. Sorry, under 2 years. I worked there for it was about, I don't know, like a year and a half, over a year and a half. Anyway, that's not the point. So working at a gas station, you, from what I have discovered myself, you come across every single type of person that you would ever think you would meet. And believe me, I could go on and on and on and tell you every single weird and strange thing that happened to me while I was working at a gas station, but then this video would be like 6 hours long. So maybe I'll make more telling other stories, because this isn't even the craziest one. A little bonus story, I guess I could give you a little taste of something other that happened. So, without getting too much into it, and I didn't know that this was happening at the time. I didn't notice until after the fact. Point is, somebody came in and used our microwave to warm up their pee for a drug test. So, I don't know if that's a common thing other places, but I've never seen that before. I've never seen somebody walk into a gas station, take a little cup full of pee, like a doctor. You get it from the hospital that you pee in. He's stuck it in the microwave. And like I said, I was cleaning the store at this point, so I did not see him put that in. People come in and they'll buy like a frozen burrito, and we have a microwave there that you could use to fill it up to use to heat it up. So people use our microwave all the time. So it was, I heard the microwave, I knew what was going on, but I didn't know what was in it. And it wasn't until after I was walking back up, he opened up the thing, grabbed his jar of pee, and just walked right out. And I was like, did that guy just warm up pee? And my coworker was like, yeah, I guess. So neither of us knew what was going on. That's just a little bonus story for you. So the point of this one is, and I guess I should give a little backstory about me personally. When I get a job somewhere, whether I like it or I hate it, I do my job. This place is paying me money to do work. So I'm the type of person that, I go in, do my job, get my money, and go home. That's just, how I like to be. So I had been working there for a little over a year at this point, and I was on one of the longer shifts, because we had two people. You'd work with one other person at a time on my shift, and one would stay for like 8 hours, and one would stay for an extra hour until the overnight person came on. But when it gets towards the end of the night, it's slow enough that the company doesn't want to pay 2 people to be there, so they send one home early, even though it still gets pretty busy, and just one person working at a gas station is difficult. I don't know how the overnight person did it, and our overnight person was a woman. And mind you, the gas station that I had didn't have any protective barriers. We weren't allowed any sort of like weapons or protection behind the counter. So if somebody came to rob this store, I was fully prepared to just hand them the register. I'm sorry, I'm not losing my life over $70 that's in my register. And most of the time, the types of people that you see when working at a gas station who go to gas stations is any and all. Everybody needs gas. But you also come across the people who, like the stoners who show up and just stare at the chip section, which is great. No hate, no judgment. We didn't sell alcohol at our gas station, so we didn't have any. We still had drunks that wandered in and just, were annoying. But I've never really had to had an issue with anything like that. I did have to kick a few people out for other reasons, which is another story I could tell if you wanted to see that. I haven't even gotten to the point of this one yet, so I don't even know why you're still watching. But if you are, thank you. I tend to ramble, and I don't have any editing software, so this is all just a one-take thing, so you'll just bear with me. If you do, you have my forever thanks. So, I guess getting back kind of on track, I've kind of lost my train of thought here. But you see so many different types of people. And one of those types of people that I'm about to talk about are the elderly, which, and this is no disrespect towards like my elders or anything like that, but slight disrespect, because some of the most disrespectful people and rude and entitled people that I have ever met are the elderly. I have seen young children that are more well behaved and more polite than some of the elderly people that I have dealt with. And like I said, I have, it's no disrespect to the general population of the elderly people, but what is your deal? Calm down. I know you've been here for longer than most of us, but the world is not yours. You need to wait in line just like everybody else. We're all people. You're not special. Anyway, side rant over. So it just so happened that this day was Thanksgiving. And my personal belief, which I'm justifying now because this involves what happens in the story, I think that it sucks that people have to work on holidays because most everybody else gets those holidays off, but certain people don't. And it's not so much that, I had to work on the holiday, as it is the fact that the people who are the reason why I have to be at work, aka the customers who need their cigarettes or their lottery tickets or their 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew, whatever is so important that you couldn't get the day before or you can't wait until the next day when this building is open, whatever it is, that's why I have to be at work. You know what I mean? So I think if you're going to give most people the day off, everybody gets the day off. And I don't know why we can't, as a whole, just prepare better. If it's a holiday, everybody gets your stuff the day before. It's only 24 hours, maybe not even a full 24 hours. So get what you need the day before so that everybody can go home and enjoy the holiday. Most gas stations nowadays could be monitored from home. If somebody is monitoring the cameras, all of the outside pumps are card activated. Shut the inside of the building down, or if you absolutely have to, have one person inside of the store just monitoring, watching. If you can't, I know not all of them. My gas station that I worked at, we had security cameras, but they didn't have them outside to catch anybody who would dine and dash with gas. You know what I mean? Which happened multiple times. And the first time that anything like that happened, it was covered by the store. But every other time after that, it came out of our paychecks. They took money from our paychecks for people driving off, which is not even anything that we could control. Because we didn't have proper security cameras to monitor what was outside, so we couldn't get their license plates or anything like that. It was just ridiculous. Anyway, like I said, this is going to be a 50-minute video. I'll save most of this for another one. Getting back on track. Thanksgiving. It was a holiday. So I walked in. Like I said, I've been there for about a year, a little over a year at this point. I walk in, go behind the counter, set all my stuff down, and I'm getting ready to do like my, before work. Like counting change and counting cigarettes, because we have to take count of all of that, whatever. So I'm, doing that, and I'm just kind of, chatting with my coworkers. And one of my coworkers who is about to leave, I'm going to replace that position for the, for the day. She just simply asks me, like, how was your Thanksgiving so far? Did you get to see your family? Did you have any fun? Blah, 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 blah. Simple question, an easy question to answer. So me, at that time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working one at the gas station, and I was also working at a TV station. So I would essentially work from 1:30 in the afternoon until 10:30 at night, and then immediately, because I was supposed to be at my other job at 10:30, but I didn't get out of my first job until 10:30. So I was always late getting to the second job, but I would basically work from 1:30 until 12:30 or 1 in the morning. So I was working a lot. And so I just responded to her saying, like, well, my situation, I work a lot. I didn't have time to see my family. I didn't have a chance to do much of anything today, which, is kind of sucky, but no big deal. Not a big deal. It's, there's always next year. There's always more holidays and things like that. So, and then while I was having this conversation with my coworker, a little old woman from behind the counter, which I didn't even notice until she spoke up, but she just inserted herself into this conversation and said, "Would you be cooking if you were home?" And I'm looking around, and she's looking at me. So I'm just kind of like looking around, like, and I kind of like look back at my coworker, and she looks back at me like, what is this woman talking about? And I'm like, I'm sorry? And she says again in a snootier tone, "Would you be cooking if you were home?" And so at this point, and a side note, I've always been a firm believer of don't lose it at work. Like I said, I'm here to do my job, collect my money, and get the fuck out of there. So I am always the type that's like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 what can I do, blah, 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 all of that. But, so it's taking everything out of me not to just go at it. You know what I mean? So the only thing that came out after that was, because she was like, well, would you be cooking if you were home? Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm a terrible cook. And I said that. I'm like, well, me personally, no, I am a horrible cook and nobody would ever want to eat my cooking. So no, I would not personally be cooking, but I don't see my family very often. And it would be nice to see that. And as I'm saying these words, she cuts me off and says, if you're not working on Thanksgiving or cooking on Thanksgiving, then you can be at work. If you're not cooking on Thanksgiving, you can be at work. And I'm like, are you for real? What I wanted to say to her was, well, then why aren't you at home cooking, honey? Why are you here forcing me to be here? You know what I mean? So I didn't say that. But what I did end up saying was like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, ma'am. Me personally, I would like to be home with my family because I don't get to see them very often, instead of being here and, getting your cigarettes and your lottery tickets. And now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm really not too sure which one was the better option. But, and then, long story short, she apologized. I apologized. We, made up, kissed, made up, whatever. Psych. The very next day, I come in, and on the counter in the back, if there's like a message that needs to get across from our manager, because sometimes she would be there when I would get on work, and sometimes she would already be gone, there was a note on the counter directed towards me. It didn't have my name on it, but there was a letter from corporate. She called corporate on me because I voiced my opinion about having to be at work. I was not even talking to her. And so the note said something like, from here on out, no employee shall voice or verbally speak about having to work on a holiday. And it mentioned something about how I was raising my voice and being belligerent and violent and angry. And my manager, who was there and witnessed all of this happening, wasn't necessarily like against me or on my side, but like she knew that I didn't do anything wrong. So I didn't really get in trouble, but you guys, I understand the situation. You got to pass it along from whatever. But this lady had the nerve to not only just insert herself into my conversation, but have the nerve to call the big boss on me for doing nothing. All I did was voice my opinion. And then, like I said, we got that, I say we because it was addressed to my station, that we are no longer allowed to verbally like voice our opinions about working on holidays. So the company was trying to shut me up. And like I said, this is not even my craziest story. I have plenty more of just, I could tell you the reason why I quit, because it was technically, I don't know if hate crime only is referred to like African Americans, but it was because of, you know, a sexual orientation, which is why I quit. So if you want to hear a story about why I quit because of my sexual orientation, let me know. Drop me a comment. And please subscribe. This is the end of this video here. I don't want it to go on for too long. But for those of you who don't know, and even if you do know, just to remind you, I am trying to, you know, get myself out there and hopefully start raising money to build a theater, like a live performing theater in my town. So I'm trying to get, you know, as many people involved as I can. So if that's something, if, you know, there's anything that I can do to earn your subscription, I will do so. With all that being said, I look forward to the next time I get to share more fun stories, and hopefully there shall be more coming out very soon. But until then, like the video, subscribe to my channel, please, and have a good day. Bye.